What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Mrboat. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is HellsRavage. The map is Ghost Lake, and this is a best of 3 series where Hells is actually up 1-0 here. Already taking that first game with his Zeus here, moving into game number 2. Swapping things into his Hades. Not comfortable playing the Zeus against the Odin for some reason. I feel like Zeus has got a big advantage over Norse on this map. For several reasons. Like, one, it's very open. It's hard to wall up because of the big ice in the middle. You can't wall up on the ice. You have to kind of do different walls, so you can't wall up very easily. So that makes centaur raiding kind of viable, or very viable on this map. 2, can be a high hunt Ghost Lake variant, which means that Athena rushing, which is very, very strong against Norse, could be an option. And 3, it could be low hunt, it could be high hunt, it could be 1 gold mine, it could be 2 gold mines. You don't know, so they have that adaptiveness of the god. Hades, while one of the better gods to defend a Ragnarok, it's still going to be a difficult situation if you can't get a second gold mine or hold on to your gold mine. If we check out the gold mines for Ghost Lake, they're very, very difficult to secure. Even with this town center here, you do secure this gold mine in the back, there's a gold mine here, but you lose this location here. You lose this gold mine, you lose everything in a Ragnarok here, which could be absolutely devastating. And that's not only to mention that that Mrboat, he's going to be able to raid quite strong against the defensive nature of Hades with his raiding cavalry. If he wants to go that way, we do see Mrboat moving up onto these caribou here. I don't think we saw him use Great Hunt yet, so he may use it up here. He is sending the goat over there to try and do this. You only get 6 caribou worth of. This is not correct. Okay, you only get. Okay, there's 7 caribou here, but you only can get 6 caribou for a Great Hunt. If you send these goat here, that's going to be taking. Food from the caribou that you could get from your Great Hunt. So it's simply just simply not that good of an idea. There's the Great Hunt. Because Great Hunt only gives you what is it? I can never remember. Let me check. What would it be? Yeah. No, it doesn't want to let me click on it. I can't see the God Powers team. Nope. There we go. I found it. Oh, it's 750 food. So I was right with the 6? 7? Whatever it is. Anyways, point being, you can only get a certain amount of caribou, and there was enough here to Great Hunt. So taking the goat over here does not make sense. Point made. Point made. Okay? All right. HellsRavage already over here onto this hunt nicely. What's his build order looking like? He's got 10 villagers on food already. Going to be moving over onto the other wood. You do have to play around a forest fire here. It does make me a little bit confused as to why he would go to this forest. Maybe this might get burned down, but man, that's a terrible storehouse as well. Only actually covers 2 trees here. You want to try and just the same as the gold mine. You want to try and make your storehouse on the wood cover as many trees as you possibly can, so that you get the most surface area from it, so that the villagers don't have to chop or walk that far. So if you put it over here in this location here, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees, whereas this storehouse here only gets 2 trees, possibly these 2 as well, and then you have the extra ones behind it. So just a little bit of efficiency for your Thursday evening. Athena coming through for Hells, and Freya already 70% on the way for Mrboat, throwing up his houses now, going around doing his thing. Going to be chucking down some longhouses straight away, probably. We do see the Ajax is already out. Does have the Girdle of Hippolyta. This is a big relic for the Hades here. Those Toxotes are going to be mightily, brutally strong. And he's harassing. The Hearse are going to come over here already. The Ajax coming in, trying to help out. We do see a villager pulled. Catastropus in here as well. Like Ajax is going after the other Hearse here. One of the big advantages for Zeus in this matchup is being able to bolt this Valkyrie. It's one of the few myth units that has high speed in the classical age, which is why Freya is picked so often. Basically, why Freya is picked so often for Odin over Heimdall, because that Valkyrie can do a lot of harass early. We do see military academy archery range coming down for Hells. No immediate second town center, so he is playing this like the Zeus, but without the building damage. So we'll see what he can do with it. The Toxotes do move a little bit faster. He just gets an extra 5% damage here. The village is going to get pulled off. Ajax already over here or running over. Chiron coming out as well. I think the village is just going to get pulled back before turning back onto the location. There we do see Forest Fire onto this location, which was very obvious for the village moving over onto this location here. Chiron comes over. The villager did get picked off. Nice play from Mrboat to get that pick off there. Herso now coming onto the Minotaur. Going to be actually able to snipe that one or get very close to, as long as the Herso don't bump into each other too much. Villagers pulling back, should jump onto those goats at some point here. So over here, nice micro from Hells pulling back the villager, doing some good damage here. The Valkyrie on its way, trying to pick off some more villagers. The Ajax still chasing this one down. The villagers not paying attention to their Hells. Needs to pull those ones back now that the Herso is retreating. And with the Valkyrie still alive, you can get some healing done onto this Herso. But the Chiron may be able to chase this down a little bit and get a couple more shots in. Maybe able to kill this one off. And he does get a shot there. He needs 2 more, it looks like, to pick it off. The raiding cavalry coming in now. Can be able to push these guys back. Hoplites, Toxotes getting pumped out now for HellsRavage. Currently 41 population for Hells to 53 for Mrboat. So he is in the lead on the population. And he has a lot of units queued up here. I don't like this. Should have built a 3rd longhouse instead of having all of these throwing axemen queued up. We do see he's cancelled a little bit here, but a 3rd longhouse is very, very important for the Norse players when they're not going for pure whatchamacallit? I can't think. Pure Ulfsuck. If you get pure Ulfsuck's only 9 seconds, so you can build from 2 and your economy sustains it. But for throwing axemen, they build at 16 seconds, and then the raiding cavalry build at 18 seconds. So they're very slow to build, so you need to get the 3rd longhouse to make up for that train time, so you can keep pumping him out nice and fast. Your economy sustains it. If you look at Mrboat, he may look like he has low resources now, but with all these things queued up in his longhouse, it's going to be a long time before he gets those upgrades out and everything else as well. Do you see the raids getting stopped here or denied by Hells, who is still sitting on such a weird army composition, such a weird decision for Hells to go Hades here with these units. It looks like he may be going for like a 10-minute-ish timing attack on a gold mine, with this gold mine getting chewed up, and go for a restoration push on a gold mine. It is possible. It could work. He needs to get this Catastropus into a good position here to spot the gold mine here. Maybe even chilling just outside of line of sight here to check on the gold mine periodically here, just to make sure he knows, because it's going to be a very early gold mine expiration here at 8 minutes and 15 seconds, or it's going to be about like 8:30 or 9 minutes when it expires. We do see watchtowers is up. No attempted watchtowers coming up for Mrboat onto a second gold mine or not. So we will see what he goes for. The Raven over here trying to get sniped by some Toxotes is pulling the units away. HellsRavage not advancing to the next age. We don't see that going through for Mrboat either. He's got a lot of resources in the bank, already 800 gold in the bank, so clearly wants to get to the heroic age through Skadi. And the units moving up onto this location over here, looking for the town senate potentially. Doesn't quite have the wood. Throwing down his armory now, has his 3rd longhouse out, and this gold mine has expired. The army for Hells chilling over on this side as well, playing very defensively. I don't know what his choices are. Looks like he's going for a semi-fast throwaway, probably through Aphrodite. He's trying to hit the 10-minute timing, but Mrboat's going to have this town center up. He's going to move his dwarves over here. This is very far off of the town center, so it's not going to be as safe for him at all. And he's probably looking to get up to the next age as well. If we check his technologies, he has the resources to advance. He's going to be clicking up through Skadi very soon. The Humri, it was not built for some reason. He had it queued up over here but didn't build it up. And he's going to be throwing that one up as soon as he possibly can and then clicking advance. Raiding cavalry getting drawn back here. And Hell's going through Aphrodite, throwing up another military academy. And this attack here is going to be very all in, and I think Mrboat's going to be able to defend it just simply because he's got frost. So the curse comes down and he frosts and he's going to be totally fine. He's going to throw down a hill fort as well immediately if this timing doesn't come in early enough, which it's not looking like Hells is making any real move out of his base just yet. Finally, the units coming forward here, 70% heroic age at this point. So he's moving forward here. Gonna have to walk straight through this. He should come around this way if he wants to be smart. The raiding cavalry do spot this as these units are finally coming around this side. HellsRavage does hit the heroic age through Aphrodite first. We see 80% heroic age for Mrboat, and he's going to be able to throw up a hill fort very fast. The units of HellsRavage moving forward right now. He sees the gold mine not getting gathered from here. What is his line of sight is the question though. Hells sees these two gold mines. He's coming around this side and try and sneak around here and sneak around the top to catch out these units here. Toxotes coming in. We'll see the hill fort going up. Going to immediately target it. Curse comes down. Hits a lot of those throwing axemen villages in the base, getting raided by these rain cavalry. They're going to have to return home. And the hill fort does get prevented here as the units moving in. Looks like the throwing axemen are going to try and get these guys close enough so that he can frost them. And he does get a frost in. And he manages to get every single one of them except for one Toxote. And he's going to throw up this hill fort as fast as he can. Nemean Lion coming in right now for Hell. So timing attack working out so far. If this Nemean Lion can stay alive here, it would be very useful. Kill off those Hursa. It could do so much damage to those throwing axemen. Looks like the raiding cavalry coming back in for Mrboat. Able to defend so far. Hursa chasing down this Nemean Lion as Hells is not microing this at all right now as these raiding cavalry going after the hoplite, and we do see that the Nemean Lion is running away from that Hursa, and lots of these Greek units now going to be taking a lot of damage. If we check out the population, it's 114 to 93, so Hell's with the advantage right now. The dwarves going to get pulled back. Mrboat only at 23 gold here. Frost does finish, so this is huge for Hells. This timing working very nicely. Not able to get the hill fort up, not able to get anything else up. 900 wood in the bank though for Mrboat. Can throw down a market, can start trading, which he's going to be doing. There's the market there. Mrboat is sitting 2 town centers. He needs to stop building dwarves though and make gatherers instead. As you can see, he's sitting 0% there, and that's gold that he desperately needs. We do see the dwarves coming over to try and finish off this caribou. Hell's getting a little bit antsy moving forward. You're going to see the market, but we'll see what happens. The villagers get pulled back. And with those frost giants here, it's looking like this army here for Mrboat could potentially win this fight. The villagers coming in to turn around, and he's going to actually completely destroy this Greek army right now with the assistance of those villagers. Simply because he can't, they just tank everything. The dwarves getting pulled back and be moving over onto the gold mine yet again. Gatherers still moving in here. Here is the restoration for Mrboat. He's just going to be retreating away from that one and taking the losses before rebuilding those units. He does still have that market, getting a lot of gold here from this gold mine while this is all going on. Or at least getting over here, keeping these units behind. He did get Rhyme there for his frost giants, turning them into Therm frost giants, giving them a lot more HP to survive against the classical heroes of HellsRavage. Sending more units in right now, going to be moving on to this gold mine. The ox cart very far away from this as the dwarves trying to desperately dump that in. We do see that Hell's going after the market to stop any trading here. That's a very smart move, but he still needs to push off this gold mine here if he wants to not finish off the market. Maybe he didn't realize how important that is. We do see villagers getting healed back up by the Valkyrie. Mrboat trying to keep him alive. And the Valkyrie actually managed to save that villager there. The dwarves getting pulled off the gold mine, moving back into the town center. You can put them over onto the wood to keep the trading going. To see Mrboat trying to squeeze up a hill fort here because these are not Zeus hoplites. He's not going to be able to take this down easily at all. The Frost Giant over here taking a lot of damage. These Hoplites and these Toxotes do nothing against those Frost Giants. They just have such high armor stats. And the hill fort is up, and that's going to force HellsRavage back here. Second town center is coming up now, and he is caught out with this army. He should be considering some sort of escape here. Just take the damage, walk out this way would be not a bad idea. We'll see what he chooses to do. He could run in onto this wood line here. Hells is still darting back and forth. I don't think he realizes how strong Mrboat is right now with this army. And he can start making Huskarl as well to take out the Toxotes. Frost Giant freezing the Minotaur there at the very start of this fight. We do see him coming in at the top with the Achilles. Needs to get the Achilles onto those myth units. He does do a lot of damage to them. One of the stronger heroes in the game because he's quite fast, and he does extra 600% bonus damage against those myth units. But it's looking like Hell's deciding against the fight here, realizing that Mrboat's got pretty strong control in that position. He could potentially wait for this gold mine here to go for another timing. Not sure how he would succeed in that regard though. I wouldn't have minded like a semi-fast mythic here instead of the second town center for HellsRavage, getting out the Perseus to pick off those Frost Giants, plus an earthquake on this location would have been huge to take down the hill fort or the town center. And now Hell's pulling back here, as Mrboat is ready to start dishing out some damage. And you can see that Mrboat actually at full population right now. Good amount of food income with his farm. Still has these berries here, but no ox cart on them for some reason. Has some pigs over here he can send over. Do see the army turning around trying to get some damage here. The Hoplite coming around the back, but with those throwing axemen there, they will tear through those Hoplite quite strong here. We do see him coming trying to stop this retreat here. See if he can do so. The Toxotes targeting down those throwing axemen. They've got pierce armor, or copper shields I should say, so that's quite strong, but those Toxotes are Hades Toxotes, so it basically just counteracts the Hades upgrades. They're still very good at picking those ones off. The Frost Giant's doing so much damage here, but they are getting picked off slowly but surely. 1 HP Frost Giant does go down there. Finally, Achilles still trying to get onto these Frost Giants. Mrboat's army does look like it's falling here, but I don't see that winning this fight is that big of a loss here for Mrboat. Or losing this fight is that big of a loss, I should say. Hell's pretty commandingly winning that fight, actually. Now sitting at 120 of 130. Mrboat's sitting at 120 of 130 as well. And now these units are getting replaced by a little bit more beefy Huskarl, which don't do very well against the Hoplite, but don't necessarily do that badly either. Their attack damage is quite high. They have more HP by a significant amount, but significantly less hack armor. So that's why the Hoplite do well against them. But when you work out the effective HP and the damage that each of them does, it's not that big of a counter. It's more of a soft counter. As you can see over here, these two heavy Huskarl just completely destroyed the 2 Hoplites over in this corner here. So it's not a bad idea to make the Huskarl against this type of army. We do see some Hypaspis coming out, which does matter quite a bit. Another hill fort here. Wouldn't mind that hill fort being over on this location though. And the question is Hell's going to be able to get to the next stage? He's getting irrigation right now if we check out the armory, the economic upgrades. Shaft mine, no plow for Mrboat. Big mistake there, which is probably why he doesn't have that much food right now. And now Hell's going for this hill fort right now. The Frost Giant's trying to come over here. These are not Zeus Hoplites, so it takes a very long time to take this hill fort down. If this was Zeus Hoplites right now, the hill fort would have already fallen because they do an extra 50% damage. But with this distance of these Hades Shades, it does add a little bit of extra damage that he otherwise wouldn't have had, or free damage I should say. The hill fort does get picked off. The dwarves getting pulled away from the gold mine yet again. We check out Mrboat's gold though. He's got enough gold to advance to the mythic age right now. He just needs the food so he can sell gold or sell wood, buy his way there to the next age, and then just go for it. As we're seeing Hell's still just struggling to put the pressure on. He's sitting 3 town centers right now. The Toxote is going to get chewed up right now by the Huskarls. The dwarves getting pulled out of the town center onto those pigs right now to get more of the food income here. And Mrboat's dropped below the resources he needs. but he can still sell that wood if he wants to. If we check out the trading here, he can still sell it for 53. So it's not the best, but it's still not awful just yet. And now Mrboat retreating or starting to push back into HellsRavage's base here, who seems to be really struggling here for resources or economy or something here. Something's not quite gone right for Hells here. I'm not sure if it's just because Odin's economy is really strong, or if the trading's going poorly. If we just check out the post game quickly for the military, Mrboat's killed about 20 more units here. The economy is slightly in favor of Mrboat. Has more villages, even though 3 town centers was for HellsRavage first. So I think this is coming down to some poor trades here from HellsRavage at this point. And we'll be seeing tier come through for Mrboat, not going for a Balder. I'm not sure I fully understand that, unless we check out Mrboat's map and he hasn't seen much. No, he sees the entire map here. He sees everything important, so he should know that this gold mine's getting mined from, and that he can just come in, whack through this with a Ragnarok, and just win here. But he's just going for the stylish victory here, it seems like. And I don't mind it because the Huskarl can then get bravery instantly, and then he can use, that's like extra bonus damage against buildings, so then he can come in and hit this with the Fimbulwinter to get the gold stars. So maybe this isn't even a bad idea. It sort of accomplishes what the Ragnarok would do without the all-in nature of it, and we do see that Mrboat is making his way over here. If we check out this, we've got Watchtowers coming through for HellsRavage, who looks like he's going to be gearing up to defend against a Ragnarok, but that's not what's coming. We've got Winter Harvest coming, Quarry coming, Irrigation coming from Mrboat. So all of those upgrades spell a very strong economy here. Hillfort coming down in the face of HellsRavage. You will not be able to stop this at this point. And we do see him picking off villages for the time being. Moving over onto this gold mine, the pacifist trying to pick off the ox cart, but the dwarves going to say no as they pick that one off. They're very fast villagers coming onto this hill fort, taking it down or trying to take it down. It's going to be very, very close. The hill fort does get up with 100 HP left. Town center targeting it down will pick it off very, very fast unless he starts repairing it. The Fimbulwinter comes down, but we do not see. Oh, there's the Fenris or the Fimbulwinter wolves now coming in. They did not get a favorable spawn there at all, but he does get one in the base of HellsRavage. Going to be picking off so many villages here because they're not retreating at this point. Hell's not paying attention to this, and now the Huskarl going to be moving on to the town center here. Do we see an immediate bravery? No, got Hephaestus. Oh yes, we see bravery coming in. HellsRavage getting the Hephaestus in. The Fenris wolves or Fimbulwinter wolves do find their way over onto this town center now to help out as the market's getting torn down as well, and everything else is looking very good currently for Mrboat as he's trying to push through this town center, though it is a Hades town center, so it does take quite a bit longer, and these Huskarl are just not quite strong enough here to take this one down as he's trying to push through. But HellsRavage is going to be hurting right now. He's at 120 population. Mrboat only at 131 population, but with lots of resources to boot, trying to build up more hill forts here to put them on there. Making Huskarl from his one hill fort is not going to be enough. Still spamming out those throwing axemen to deal with the army of HellsRavage. And the Frost Giant does get picked off as these bravery Huskarls have come through. It's an extra 100% bonus damage against the buildings. So that's like 24 damage or hack damage against those buildings. And it's looking like Mrboat has to retreat here. And he's going to be in a really difficult situation to be going up against the Hephaestus Hades here. That he's got the advantage, but is it going to be enough is the question. We just see another hill fort coming up for Mrboat. He needs like 3 or something to support this. And we do need to see a lot of those Hephaestus getting built for HellsRavage at this point, because they countered the entire army of Mrboat, who's moving forward with the Frost Giants for the time being. And it's looking like the I don't know if Hells can make the comeback or not. He needs to rebuild his villages, which he's not doing. He's not doing it at all. His economy, he's got irrigation, he has no bow saw, no shaft mine, no strong economic upgrades here. We've got champion infantry has come through for Mrboat. Taking down those archers here. Their pacifists coming around the back though. Gonna force Mrboat back yet again. Moving forward with the hill fort, trying to cut off HellsRavage's gold mine here. Who's not paying attention? I'm pretty sure he can spot this because the archery range will give line of sight. And I kind of wish that the Colossus would move forward and just bash through a hill fort or two. We are seeing HellsRavage able to defend nicely at this point. The Hades army is so very, very strong. And Mrboat's just not able to spam units. He actually needs to be making raiding cavalry right now. Raiding cavalry and Huskarl would do very nicely against this army. Those throwing axemen are not going to cut it. And he's got winter harvest, so he's got only 20 farms here. And I feel like he could go a little bit harder on the farms. How's his food situation? He always tell a lie. He just needs to make raiding cavalry. He needs to put the resources in. I don't think he's gotten any upgrades on them yet, which is why he's staying away from them. But he needs to work towards it. Otherwise, this Greek army is going to be too hard to push into. You can even just build a couple of raiding cavalry just as distractions as well. It's not a bad idea. You see some raids coming in from the Hades Shades right now onto the gold mine over here. And we go after the ox cart as villagers moving forward trying to grab this large gold mine. We see these Toxotes getting completely picked off. Hell's not paying attention to them. Losing all of these is going to be huge. Nice play there from Mrboat, but it's a super big mistake. And now the Huskarl, the Bravery Huskarl, can actually just move straight in and pick everything else off. He has made some Ulfjarls though as well. I don't like the Ulfjarls. Would prefer raiding cavalry at this point, but it doesn't matter. Because you can still keep building the Huskarl. It's not a bad problem. Not going after the town center though. Baseus trying to get built here. I think he's already got it out. Yeah, it's already out, so he can move forward and one hit the Frost Giant here. Moving in with it. Going after the low HP Frost Giant and getting your Baseus surrounded. Just HellsRavage things. And 3 HP left. Does get picked off. And the army of Hell's making its way onto these villages. As Mrboat is like, I don't even care. I got 700 gold in the bank here. You are about to lose your town center. You've got no gold income here. The Huskarl going to be taking this town center down very, very fast. It has no fortified town centers, has no masons, has no architects. Even with the Hades upgrades, it's a difficult thing to stop the Bravery Huskarls at this point in the game without your army. The villagers all look like they got, or not all of them got picked off at all, so he can just move over onto this gold mine and is totally fine there. The town center does fall as Mrboat is going to be starting to spam up these watchtowers. Plays very slow. I love it that he's throwing these watchtowers up because he may not be able to get the town center up by the time the army of Hells comes in. So instead of going for it, build up some towers, control this location, make sure your opponent can't grab it back, and work towards getting it slowly is the best course of action here. Do see the Ajax picking off one Frost Giant there as this army is coming in. The village is getting picked off of this gold mine by the Huskarl here. They do so much damage. 13.6 hack damage is a lot. We do see the town center trying to get up now, and this is so I like that the watchtowers were built, but he should have built more of them before the town center gets up. 2 more would have been lovely, and we do see he has to stop building up the town center right now, which got up to 997 HP. So we could have built 2 towers within that time and be fighting here. But HellsRavage decides in this moment to tap out. So GG, Mrboat levels the series 1-1. So nice play here from Mrboat going for the tier. I didn't mind it at all. I thought that the idea behind it was really strong. I think if his hill fort was built a little bit further back away from the town center, he would have been able to get it up and he probably would have won there and then. But it did enough damage, got some nice wolf spawns. What I wouldn't mind for tier would be that you could choose where one wolf pack spawns. Wherever you cast the wherever you cast the Fimbulwinter should be where one wolf pack spawns, so you can just guarantee it, and the rest should be like random. So you could cast Fimbulwinter here and guarantee yourself to get the wolf pack to spawn on the cursor. Obviously, that's not how it works, but that would make tier a little bit better, I reckon. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the game. If you did enjoy the game, please consider hitting the follow button on Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next game.